Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie for those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island USA Season 6 Episode 21. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. We're on the mend. We're not quite there, but we're getting there. I gotta say, I don't know what happened in the last 24 hours, but I feel like some people have started to grasp what's been going on with the Serena Cordell situation. I thought a lot more of the commentary in my comments were going to be Serena stand no matter what, which is a little bit concerning. But a lot of people are like, even though I do stand Serena, her behavior in the previous episode was unacceptable. Listen, if at least 5 people could say that, I feel like, well, we're on a good track. Because before, I don't know, some things you guys were saying was a little bit alarming for me. I'm like, I saw on Twitter last night, people were like, this is romance. Romance. Okay. But some people have had a sleep. They've woken up and they've gotten a little bit of perspective. We thank God. So the guys are trying to comfort Cordell after the blow up, and they're basically telling him to stick with Daya. From the preview, because I wasn't really paying attention when Leah was on screen, she misconstrued what Miguel said to her. And Miguel had said something along the lines of what you guys saw as a fraction of what was going on for Cordell, because 90% of the time he was still contemplating what would it look like to go with Serena. So he didn't say to Daya's face, I'm 90% on Serena and 10% on you, which would be crazy, because what girl would come back knowing that? Well, actually, let me not say that, because there's a girl out there who would. But yeah, Leah was spreading misinformation, and it got back to Cordell, and Cordell is upset about it.
Is that how you want your wife to behave when shit hits the fan?
Is this how she's gonna react every single time? Is that what you are looking for?
Did she bring up this 90%, 10% thing?
What 90%? I ain't never said no 90%, 10%.
Cordell,
I've never told you no
morning.
fucking 90, 10%
Yes, you
shit.
did.
When?
We were sitting there, you were saying, I fucked up.
Yeah, I did fucked up. I told her I fucked up, first off.
There was a very big chance that if you brought her back here, you may still couple up with Serena.
I said
Is that a
part,
lie?
but I've never said no 90, 10%.
Like,
I've
yes,
told
you're right.
yes.
You caught me. I'm lying to hurt Serena even more.
I'm not.
You caught me. Even if he didn't say that, he said a whole bunch of other shit that is very equivalent to that, if not worse. You said basically the same thing. It was just maybe I heard it wrong. Maybe it was worded wrong.
Leah has proven to be very unreliable when it comes to relaying information. She's not the one. I don't know what she hears, processes, and then repeats, but it never connects, okay? Whatever she heard is not what ends up coming out. So yeah, Leah, I don't know. They hugged it out and whatever. Now, both Daya and Serena want Cordell to make his intentions known and stand on business, whatever his decision is going to be. So they decided to have a conversation with all 3 of them.
We don't need 20 opinions. You've been honest with me since the beginning that you have a very strong connection with Serena. In a couple of days that we've met, I'm up there and
Checking boxes.
Yeah, I'm
told
checking
her that.
boxes. But I'm gonna let y'all talk. I'm gonna let y'all have your piece, but maybe chill the fuck out.
Recoupled with this girl, Cordell. You fully recoupled with this girl.
I told her that just because it says recoupling does not mean that I am recoupling up with you.
You knew that I've been very respectful of what we had going on, no matter how slow I moved.
I'm not expecting you to welcome me back with open arms, but I do know that I'm willing to fight for you.
Big Mommy did her big one. I can't even lie. Yeah, she kind of said, this is what happened. This is my stance. Can y'all just resolve this whole thing? Because I'm really not trying to fight. And so if I'm looking at both connections holistically, yes, Daya's connection with him is pretty fresh. Could she have been laying it on thick to just get into the villa? Absolutely. However, Cordell was looking for something that Serena wasn't providing. And Serena herself admitted she knew she should have been giving him more affection in whatever way that looked like for her. She knew she wasn't giving him enough. She said that. Looking at their 3 weeks together, to me, there were more downs than ups. it doesn't make me feel like this is something that I would want to root for. It's not to take away any feelings she has for Cordell. It's not to say that she was deliberately being malicious towards him during that exploration period, but they started off as a default couple. They're still a default couple. I don't know. It's just weird. And the way that she reacted in the last 24 hours, I'm so sorry. If this is how you act in adversity, in a controlled environment, I'm not trying to take this on the outside, because God only knows what you're capable of doing. And this is not me saying anything about her. I'm just saying my mind would go to, what are the possibilities outside of this? Because there are cameras and there are people watching. I don't know if I would want to go down that road. I'm just saying. She could be more tame. She could not be. We don't know. What we do know is that Cordell in the beach hut was like, yeah, I do want to explore both connections, but realistically, I want Serena. Make that be known, because now you're wasting Daya's time. I don't know who else Daya would go for anyways, but you're still wasting her time. So Kendall is explaining his side of things to Serena, and for the most part, he's basically saying what a lot of us have been saying about their connection.
Kenny, I thought we were friends.
Of course we're friends, Serena. If I see my guy happy and like literally giddy and shit, I'm not gonna be like, hey man, cut that shit. You did dump him. You did friend zone him. You did twist on him. Yeah, I know, right?
You twisted too, you came back.
Yeah, I know, but yes, also I'm saying, Serena. But this is, but hey, listen, but this is, yes. We should have said, hey, there should be no kissing. There should be no cuddling.
I was hurt, and I think I did what I should do. I don't regret anything that I said besides fuck you, Kendall.
I feel like Kendall was kissing ass just a little bit, and the only grace that I will give him regarding that is that they just came off of a very emotionally charged situation. He might not want to trigger her again, but coming down the stairs after the conversation with Cordell, he literally was like, the way that she acted was so immature, like, this is why I don't want you to go back there, da-da-da-da, whatever. Where was all of that? Like, he didn't say that. I think it's important for people who really have love for you, people who you see as looking out for you, to say, hey, listen, with love, I need to check you. With love, I need to check you, because that was not okay. I think that's important. If you have yes people around you, that's a dangerous road to go down, in my opinion. And to clarify, he did say her yelling at the guys didn't rub them the right way, and so she did end up apologizing for saying like F you, Kendall, and whatever. But I would have liked to see him say, maybe he did and they cut it out, but I would have liked to see him say that how she treated Cordell also wasn't acceptable, especially because he just finished telling Cordell not to go back there with Serena because of her actions. Miguel talks to Leah. He says he cares about her a lot and he doesn't want to see her hurt. He doesn't say who he's leaning towards more, but he talks about it the next day, so we'll wait for that. Kenny and Janae have another emotional conversation, and she's apologizing for how she reacted at the fire pit.
I just assumed, which I shouldn't have, that me and you were like in a good place. I think I just overreacted. I was just really, really hurt, and I've taken so many L's. I just want to apologize, and I will do my best to stay in my lane.
We had limited time together, but at the end of the day, I think there's never been like a hiccup or like anything to test what we had.
I don't think I like really considered your feelings. I would think I was like really selfish because I was so hurt, so I just felt bad.
Putting you as a priority, I think it'll make us stronger.
I'm glad that she's able to articulate where her emotions are coming from. Like, that's great and all. But Kenny, though, like, girl, like, I don't get it. I do not see it at all. I really don't. I really don't get it. Either there's a lot that we don't see, or Janae is one of those people who's able to just plug and play anybody and make it work. Because there are some people who are like that. Not me exposing my own friends. There's just some people who are like that. They'll be dating all different kinds of people, and you're like, how does this make any sense? But somehow they find a way to make it work. So, all right, child. Kenny says that he has clarity and wants to be with Janae, which is good because Janae already expressed, I will not be an option. Catherine said the same thing, but he must not take her as seriously. She was like, I'm not going to be an option. So if there's a second option, go for the second option. And he's like, no, I'm going to drop my second option and go for you. So we'll see how he relays that to, to Catherine. Before bed, Miguel talks to Serena and he says that although he has love for her, he does believe that Cordell owed it to himself to explore in Casa Amor. I think everybody for the most part agrees with that, but based on Cordell's own morals, he knew that what he was doing was disrespectful. So the guy should also take that into consideration when they talk about it. Like, we wanted him to explore, but we know that he went about it the wrong way. You know, I think that would help. But anyways, Serena does say that she regrets popping off on Cordell like that. I'm glad, because that was embarrassing. And I know a lot of people too, there's a lot of unhealed people on the internet, or like people who don't realize that there are wounds, open wounds that they are supposed to be nursing, and they're just bleeding on other people. Because the amount of tweets that I saw basically saying, oh, they're mad at Serena because I would have done way worse. Unhealthy. That is very unhealthy. Conflict resolution skills need to be developed, because that is not how you resolve conflict. Janae decided to sleep inside at this time. Kaylor and Aaron are still sleeping outside. In the morning, Kane makes breakfast for Liv. Daya makes breakfast for Cordell. Miguel says he knows where his head is at and he's gonna have a talk with both girls. And Aaron has plans of making Kaylor his girlfriend in a few days. He should have just done it right away, child, because in a few days, you might not have that window open with Kaylor anymore. So Miguel pulls Sierra for a chat, and he tells her that his head is with Leah.
I think you're an amazing woman.
Thank you.
And I really do wish I had some more time to get to know you.
Yeah.
For me right now, I gotta go with what's right in my heart. And I think I'm gonna continue to pursue things with Leah.
I don't know, I think we were like physical first and didn't build that like friendship thing. I feel like a little, I don't want to say like embarrassed, but like just kind of cringed out. So mad because like he doesn't want to be with me. Like, you don't want to be with me? I don't know. That's crazy.
Sierra is a little bit annoyed with Miguel, and I hear her, but we also have to be realistic, okay? So walk with me here. She's frustrated that their connection was physical very fast and they didn't cultivate a friendship, whereas with Leah, they do have the physical, but before that, they built a friendship. And even though he got physical with Leah very quickly once coupling up with her, they did have the luxury of being in each other's vicinity, but just not exploring the physical connection more, right? So inadvertently, they were building a friendship, whether it was the plan or not. And with Sierra, she just jumped straight into the physical. And oftentimes, this doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes people can get physical the first day of meeting each other and then they're married for the next 30 years. But oftentimes, when you get physical with someone, they discard you not too long after that. And we saw the pattern here with Sierra, and it's like, I hope that this is a lesson learned. Like, do what you want with your body, baby. Your body, your choice. Your body, your choice. Always. Your body, your choice. But some people will discard you after you explore just the physical. It's just a reality. It's just a reality. Moving on. Kenny says that he's trying to be considerate of both women, but it's clear that he's spending the majority of his time with Janae, even in front of Catherine. I mean, that's kind of hard to avoid, but you want to be with Janae. Go and tell Catherine, okay? Daya says that she feels Cordell has been ignoring her, or avoiding her, let me say, and she wants him to just make a decision. So Daya is in a similar predicament to the other women. You're fighting against, well, Daya specifically is fighting against 3 weeks of a friendship being built between Cordell and Serena, where she has 3 days, which was a lot of physical stuff. And as much as Cordell wanted more of a physical connection, it's important to note how much of the physical was, how do I say this? Like the 80-20 rule. You know what I'm saying? Your main partner gives you 80%, but you're yearning for that 20. So you go for the 20 thinking that it will make it 100, but really now you just have 20, you know? So with Daya, it's giving she was the 20% and he realized he still wanted that 80% because he had like jokes with Serena and all the stuff that he wanted to reminisce on. And I totally understand that. I just feel like there were more holes in the relationship that he should have been looking at, but whatever. One thing about Cordell, he's not going to see that with Serena. He has a bad crush on this girl. So yeah, maybe Daya was the 20% that he thought would fulfill him, and he's realizing he wants to go back to that 80. So in the tweet challenge, there are tweets exposed to the Islanders. I'm going to read most of them. They want Nicole out. Well, somebody wants Nicole out. Catherine was forgettable, and Kenny was her meal ticket. Kaylor should ask Aaron what handshake he has with Daniela. Rob is not as deep as the women make it seem. Daya is all in Odell Beckham Jr.'s comments, which is so funny because what went viral on Twitter was actually photoshopped images. However, it turns out she might have actually been in his comments for real. Janae deserves to be treated better. Daniela is a pass-around girl and just goes for it. Leah is not a girl's girl and is basically a horrible, toxic human being. Cordell did nothing wrong and Serena strung him along. Cordell did a madness in Casa. Liv is a loudmouth mean girl. Janae should know that Kenny is not her man. Aaron and Cordell put up a front about not wanting to explore in Casa Amor, and Kaylor barely saw what happened in Casa. So after the challenge, Daya is desperately trying to beat the allegations of just going for Cordell in order to get to Odell.
I was like really upset about the comment I got. My ex went to dinner with him and he was like, oh, I went to dinner with OBJ or whatever. And I was like, who's that? And he told me who it was. That's literally the only photo I probably would have ever commented on your brother. Like, and it wasn't even on your brother's page.
I believe you. I mean, if you're saying it, I believe you. So I wasn't really tripping about it anyway. I mean, I dealt with that shit my whole life, so.
Like, I don't give a fuck if we're homeless on the street. I would literally still think, like, I like you for you.
It's funny how Twitter made up those, guys, I'm really, like, losing it here. How Twitter made up the tweets, but there's actually some validity to it. She's like, oh, my ex had dinner, and then I comment. I'm like, oh, no, it's not looking good, bruv. And then she says, I would still want you because I like you for you, and even if you were homeless, I said, okay, nah, please, let's be honest. You would not date Cordell if he was homeless. The man didn't even know the meaning of long-term goals. On top of being homeless, baby, let's be for real. We know you like the man, but tell the truth. Tell the truth and shame the devil, okay? Liv gets emotional and hopes that America doesn't think that she's a bitch. That one's a hard one to sell. I think a lot of people think that. A lot of people are here for it, though, so maybe she can spin it. And then Daniela regrets even talking to Aaron because of her reputation now on the outside. Speaking of Daniela, Kaylor wants to have a chat with her to understand where this worst part of Casa, like, where's the footage? What happened?
I wish my brain worked better, but it was basically saying, like, showering together.
We showered together.
So that's why I was gonna say.
He begged for 2 weeks for me to shower with him. I can't have you forget things like that because that's, like, a huge difference. It's like saying you're sorry and just putting a Band-Aid on it. It doesn't repair what is done. I feel like the biggest dumbass, like, ever. Like, I really do. Like, I really fucking do.
The gag about this whole, like, shower conversation is I am pretty certain that's not even what the tweet was referring to. The tweet was not referring, in my opinion, I don't think the tweet was referring to him joking about taking a shower with what's her name. But because Kaylor had been taking showers with Aaron after he had begged her for weeks, apparently, to do so, she takes that very personally. Yeah, she takes it personally. And his whole thing is, it's a joke. It wasn't that serious, whatever. Even she was trying to say it's a joke. And she's like, no, you're taking things that we did intimately and just throwing it around flippantly like it's nothing. And I think I said the same thing in Casa Amor, the way that he just so quickly was saying, oh, I love Daniela and this and that. I'm like, be careful with your words. Like, words mean things. Why are you just saying stuff? It's crazy. So then Aaron is talking to Rob and he's like, oh, I think I'm going to take a step back. To me, Aaron is such a flight risk, and so is Kaylor. That's probably why they get along so well. He is so extreme with his emotions and his decisions. Like, one day, oh, I'm on the road to loving Kaylor. The next day, oh, I love Daniela. One day, oh, I want to make Kaylor my girlfriend. The next day, I think I'm going to take a step back. Like, sir, this roller coaster is actually crazy. And in the evening, it gets even worse. I do have to say, the girls looked good. Ooh, the girls looked good. Kaylor looked good. Janae looked good. The girls looked good. Rob with them damn overalls. I can't. But anyways, the emotional roller coaster between Aaron and Kaylor is very exhausting.
Yeah, you obviously know something that I'm like missing. So.
Well, you said it, Aaron, so you shouldn't be missing it.
It's not shout.
Because
it's
I'm
not shout.
so irritated. I feel manipulated. I feel lied to. I feel fucking stupid.
And then I looked at her and I was like, do you want to get in the shower? It's a joke.
It's not a fucking joke to me.
We can nitpick tiny little bits of details the same way as when you were flirting with the guy up there. We can probably nitpick loads of things.
Why wouldn't you mention that to me, though? You didn't
because
think
it's
it would
not a
hurt
big
me?
deal.
It's a big deal to me, obviously.
Well, how am I going to know that? I'm saying that as a joke.
It's not a joke. And it's way more important to me than you, clearly.
I'm aware that reality shows in general are basically like a pressure cooker. So you feel things deeper than you probably would on the outside. But the yelling and the crying every day, like, I don't think I'd be able to handle it. You would see me get up and leave the way that Liv does, because one thing about Liv, she does not take well to people yelling in her face. Neither do I. I cannot. Even if you raise your voice a decibel too high for my liking, I'm out. Sorry, I'm out. I'm leaving. Aaron tries to victimize himself. He's like, well, I don't know what you said to the other guys. And not the road to take, sweetie pie. Not the road to take. And I'm glad that Kaylor called him up on it. She was like, do not try to flip this on me. You're not the victim here. You need to own up to your actions. Absolutely. You tried it. So the next episode, Kaylor is popping off. The way that they communicate, the way that things are so back and forth, up and down, erratic between them, I don't think this will be a healthy relationship. I really don't. Cut your losses, in my opinion. But anyways, movie night is on the way. I don't know what they're going to show, because at this point, the tweets challenge has kind of prepped people for what they're likely going to see. So we'll see. I'll be here for the ride. Hopefully it gives us some good content. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.